Ever felt like your brain is a browser with 97 tabs open and you don't even know where the music is coming from? What if the real superpower of top performers, visionary creators, and ultra-productive leaders is not motivation, but how they control their attention? Today, we dive into a book that doesn't just explain focus, it teaches you how to use it like a laser to do better work in less time. Hyperfocus by Chris Bailey. Your attention is the most valuable currency you own. When you direct it deliberately, you enter hyperfocus, a state where your productivity skyrockets. But when you let distractions hijack it, you slip into scatter focus, leading to stress, procrastination, and wasted time. The book teaches you how to intentionally manage your attention, move from distraction to clarity, and even unlock creativity. Chapter 0: Why Focus Matters. Imagine your mind is a flashlight. Most people walk around with it flickering in every direction, but peak performers, they turn it into a laser beam. What is the single difference between mediocrity and mastery? Not intelligence, not talent, it's where you place your attention. If your focus determines your reality, the question becomes, are you truly controlling it, or is it being controlled for you? Chris Bailey opens by proving that focus is the gateway to productivity, clarity, and even happiness. Every task you perform depends on where your attention goes. The average person gets distracted every 40 seconds. People who multitask regularly are 40% less productive. Focused attention, even for short bursts, increases output up to 10x. The author argues, if you master your attention, you master how you experience your life. And here's the twist: focus isn't just for efficiency. It allows you to fully experience moments, make deep memories, and live intentionally. But here's the problem. Even knowing this truth isn't enough. Our brains default to autopilot mode, constantly chasing whatever is loudest or most stimulating. What if your biggest enemy to success is happening without your awareness? Chapter 0.5: How to better focus. On this book, before we learn how to hyperfocus, let's first learn how to focus on the knowledge itself. Ready? Chapter 0.5: How to better focus. On this book, before you can master focus, you first need to focus on mastering the book itself. Sounds simple, right? But what if you are absorbing information passively, the way most people do, scrolling, nodding, forgetting? What if the real transformation only happens when you actively engage with what you read? Imagine reading this entire summary, absorbing every word, and remembering none of it. Let us avoid that fate. Chris Bailey suggests 5 techniques to deeply absorb this book and apply it effectively. Read with intention. Before starting, ask, what problem am I trying to solve with this book? Are you trying to boost productivity, eliminate distractions, or achieve laser-like performance? Take notes like you're going to teach it. When you learn as if you'll explain it to someone else, retention skyrockets. Pause and reflect. After each key idea, stop and ask, how does this apply to my life today? Reduce distractions while reading. Each notification, sound, or wandering thought dilutes learning. Turn your reading mode into a mini hyperfocus session. Visualize implementation. Do not just read about focus, imagine yourself executing it. That mental rehearsal increases real-life application dramatically. The author says, you do not learn from books. You learn from what you do differently because of them. Now that your mind is primed to learn, the question is, what exactly is pulling you away from focus every day without you realizing it? In the next chapter, we expose the hidden thief of productivity. Chapter 1: Switching off autopilot mode. Ready to see how your brain secretly drains your attention? Chapter 1: Switching off autopilot mode. Have you ever reached the end of your day and wondered where your time truly went? You had plans, intentions, a clear list of what you would accomplish, yet somehow distractions silently hijacked your actions. You kept yourself busy, but deep down, you know you were not fully present. Now imagine this: what if almost everything you do daily is not driven by conscious choice, but by invisible mental patterns operating without your awareness? How would your life change if you could switch off that autopilot and start making decisions with complete clarity and intention? Chapter 1 reveals that most people live a major portion of their lives in autopilot mode, a natural brain function designed for survival but disastrous for productivity and meaningful creation. Autopilot is a mental shortcut that handles thousands of actions automatically, conserving energy. It is the reason you sometimes drive to work and barely remember the turns you took. It is why 5 minutes on your phone can quietly turn into 50. Chris Bailey explains that your brain processes millions of bits of information every second, but you consciously focus on only 40 bits. This means that unless you are intentional, almost everything you think, do, and react to runs on default. Autopilot gets triggered when you repeatedly perform familiar tasks without engaging deeply. You multitask or rapidly switch between activities. You begin your day reactively checking messages, replying to emails, scanning notifications. You do not pause to question your actions. The antidote is intentional awareness. Bailey suggests a powerful method. Ask yourself periodically, what do I truly want to focus on right now? This single question forces your mind out of habitual automation and into conscious direction. It transforms your attention from reactive to deliberate. In addition, you can weaken autopilot by starting the day with intentional, meaningful work before reactive engagement. Setting internal attention reminders, for example, every 60 minutes, asking yourself if you are focusing on what matters. Reducing easy access distractions prior to beginning high-value tasks. Engaging fully with one task at a time rather than allowing passive multitasking. The chapter makes it clear: the quality of your life is determined by the quality of what you intentionally notice. When you allow autopilot to rule, life happens to you. When you choose where attention goes, you begin to design life proactively. Now that you understand how autopilot steals the power of your presence, the question becomes: how much can you truly achieve if you learn not just to control attention, but to maximize it within its natural limits? In the next chapter, you will discover how limited your attention really is and why mastering its limitations is the key to entering the peak performance state known as hyperfocus. Chapter 2: The limits of your attention. Have you ever wondered why even when you deeply care about a task, you still lose focus? You start with full energy, but within minutes your mind drifts somewhere else, checking your phone, thinking about something irrelevant, or zoning out completely. What if the real problem is not distraction, but the way your brain is naturally wired? What if attention is not limitless, but a scarce resource that you must learn to manage with precision rather than effort? Imagine discovering that the brain has a fixed attention capacity, and once exceeded, your productivity begins crashing invisibly. Chapter 2 exposes a powerful truth. Your attention operates like a spotlight with a restricted battery life. It can fully illuminate only one subject at a time. The more scattered your focus becomes, the dimmer the light gets. Chris Bailey explains that your brain is built to focus deeply only for 90 to 120 minutes before cognitive fatigue begins, and your ability to process information is naturally limited. According to neuroscience, your working memory can actively hold only about 4 to 7 pieces of information at any given moment. When you try to multitask, you are not actually doing two things at once. Your brain is rapidly switching between activities, consuming additional energy during every switch. This switching cost dramatically reduces efficiency and drains attention faster. Bailey highlights that external distractions like notifications, emails, conversations, and internal distractions like thoughts, worries, mental dialogue both compete for your limited mental bandwidth. When either takes over the spotlight, your main task suffers. The chapter introduces a crucial formula: productivity equals time attention. Time alone does not dictate results. 2 hours with divided attention can produce worse outcomes than 30 minutes of full concentration. The author suggests adopting attentional management by treating attention like vital currency. This means prioritizing tasks based on their attention cost, eliminating distractions before starting a high attention task. Scheduling cognitively intense tasks during peak energy times, usually early morning or after rest. Using techniques like time blocking, attention budgeting, and intentional breaks to replenish mental stamina. Bailey emphasizes the importance of mental recovery. Just as muscles need rest after intense workouts, your brain requires short pauses to recharge. Strategic breaks help reset attention, allowing you to re-enter a state of high cognitive focus. Ultimately, the chapter teaches that high performance is not about working harder. It is about working with attention intelligently. When you protect your attention, you multiply your impact. Now that you understand just how limited your attention truly is, the question becomes, what if there were a way to harness all your available attention into a single laser-like beam that produces exponential output? In the next chapter, you will discover the science of hyperfocus, the state where ordinary effort turns into extraordinary impact. Chapter 3, The Power of Hyperfocus. Imagine a moment when everything else disappears. You are fully immersed in a task and time seems to slow down. Your mind is not wandering, your energy is not fading, and the results you produce feel effortless yet extraordinary. This is not luck, this is hyperfocus. But what if you have been chasing productivity without ever learning how to enter this state? What if the secret to doing more in less time is not working harder, but directing your attention with mastery? Chris Bailey explains that hyperfocus is a state where your attention is fully engaged on the task that matters most, allowing your brain to operate at peak efficiency. In hyperfocus, your cognitive resources are concentrated, distractions are shut out, and creativity surges. The chapter identifies 3 core components that make hyperfocus possible. Intentionality: you must choose your focus deliberately. Waiting for motivation to strike will fail. You must decide consciously, this is where I will put my mind right now. Awareness of attention drain: understanding what drains your focus is critical. Social media, emails, interruptions, and even internal thoughts can hijack your attention if unchecked. Hyperfocus requires actively minimizing these drains. Deep engagement: hyperfocus is not superficial attention. It is deep, meaningful engagement with one task at a time. This depth allows your brain to form stronger neural connections, leading to better results and higher creativity. Bailey emphasizes that entering hyperfocus is like turning a dim flashlight into a laser. It is not about doing more things at once, but doing the right things better than ever before. Even short bursts of hyperfocus can produce disproportionately high results. Some actionable strategies include: start your most important work first. When your mental energy is highest, break large projects into small, attention-friendly chunks. Eliminate all potential distractions before starting the task. Schedule intentional hyperfocus sessions instead of relying on chance. Hyperfocus is also a gateway to creativity. When your attention is undivided, your mind can make novel connections, notice patterns, and solve problems that seem impossible when distracted. Bailey makes a critical point: it is not about working longer, but about being fully present during the work you choose. Now that you understand how hyperfocus allows you to harness attention to achieve extraordinary results, the question is, how do you prevent distractions from pulling you out of this state every single day? In the next chapter, you will learn taming distractions, the strategies to protect your attention and sustain hyperfocus longer than you ever thought possible. Chapter 4: Taming Distractions. Picture this. You are deep in an important task, fully immersed in hyperfocus, when suddenly your phone buzzes, a notification pops up, or a random thought drifts into your mind. In an instant, your attention is pulled away and the flow shatters. You tell yourself, just one quick check, but minutes turn into half an hour of lost focus. What if I told you that distractions are not just minor interruptions, they are silent productivity killers, and learning to tame them is the real key to mastering your day? Chris Bailey emphasizes that distractions are the single greatest enemy of hyperfocus. They come in two forms: external distractions, these are visible and audible interruptions, notifications, emails, messages, meetings, or even people around you. They steal your attention without your consent, and each interruption carries a cognitive switching cost that reduces efficiency. Internal distractions, these are your wandering thoughts, worries, and internal monologues. Even when your environment is quiet, your brain can create interruptions from within, pulling attention away from meaningful work. The chapter provides strategies to tame distractions effectively. Control your environment, physically remove objects, apps, or notifications that pull your attention, silence devices, close unnecessary tabs, and create a space dedicated to focused work. Batch reactive tasks. Emails, messages, and administrative tasks should be done in specific time blocks instead of reacting instantly. Use intention anchors. Begin a session with a clearly defined task and a time limit. Write down what you intend to achieve and commit your full attention to it. Practice noticing your wandering mind. When you catch yourself drifting, gently return to your task. This strengthens your mental attention muscle. Take micro breaks intentionally. Brief pauses help reset attention, preventing mental fatigue from cumulative distractions. Bailey also warns that taming distractions is not about eliminating fun or spontaneity. It is about deliberately choosing when and where your attention goes. By protecting your mental spotlight, even ordinary tasks can become more efficient and meaningful. A crucial insight: your attention is like water. It always flows to the easiest path. You must shape the channels deliberately. When you apply these methods consistently, your ability to maintain hyperfocus grows exponentially, and the work you produce becomes sharper, faster, and more creative. Now that you understand how to tame distractions, the next challenge emerges. How do you make hyperfocus a habit so that your attention is not fleeting but consistently available when you need it most? In the next chapter, you will learn Chapter 5, Making Hyperfocus a Habit, where you will discover the daily routines and strategies that embed deep focus into your life automatically. Chapter 5, Making Hyperfocus a Habit. Imagine if hyperfocus was not just an occasional burst of brilliance, but a daily superpower you could access at will. What if you could train your brain to enter this state consistently, turning ordinary work days into moments of high achievement? Most people think focus is a fleeting gift, something that happens by chance. What if I told you that hyperfocus can be deliberately practiced and turned into a habit that shapes your results every single day? Chris Bailey explains that the key to making hyperfocus a habit is consistency and structure. It is not enough to rely on willpower or inspiration. You must create rituals and routines that prime your brain for deep focus. Some core strategies include time blocking your attention. Schedule specific periods in your day for high focus work. Treat these sessions as non-negotiable appointments with yourself. Start with micro sessions. Begin with short, manageable periods of hyperfocus, such as 30 minutes, and gradually extend them. This prevents mental fatigue and reinforces the habit. Create environmental cues. Dedicate a workspace free from distractions. The brain associates specific environments with deep work, making focus easier over time. Leverage your energy cycles, track when your mental energy peaks during the day, and align focus sessions with these windows. Review and reflect daily at the end of each day. Reflect on moments of deep focus. Identify what triggered distraction and what helped you maintain attention. Bailey also emphasizes habit stacking. Attach your hyperfocus practice to an existing routine. For example, after your morning coffee, dedicate 45 minutes to a high-priority task. Over time, your brain learns to anticipate and enter the hyperfocus state automatically. Importantly, the chapter highlights self-compassion. You will not achieve perfect focus every session. The goal is gradual improvement, not perfection. By celebrating small wins and learning from lapses, you strengthen your focus muscles. A powerful insight: focus is not a skill you either have or do not. It is a habit you cultivate with intention, patience, and structure. Consistently applying these methods allows hyperfocus to become less of a rare occurrence and more of a natural state that you can call upon whenever needed. Now that you understand how to make hyperfocus a habit, a new question arises: is deep focus only about productivity, or can it also unlock hidden creativity and innovative thinking? In the next chapter, you will discover Chapter 6, Your Brain's Hidden Creative Mode, and how hyperfocus can transform not only your output but also your creative potential. Chapter 6, Your Brain's Hidden Creative Mode. Imagine a moment when a problem you have been struggling with suddenly seems simple. A solution appears effortlessly. Ideas flow as if your mind is a vast ocean of creativity. Most people believe creativity is a talent or a fleeting spark, but what if I told you your brain has a hidden creative mode that you can deliberately access, and that it works best when combined with hyperfocus? Chris Bailey reveals that creativity is not a random gift. It is a natural function of the brain when attention is properly harnessed. Hyperfocus allows your mind to connect dots, notice patterns, and see relationships that are invisible when attention is scattered. The chapter identifies two key modes of creativity. Focused creativity: when you are fully immersed in a task, your brain forms deep neural connections. This leads to problem-solving breakthroughs and innovative thinking within the subject you are focusing on. Diffuse creativity: when your mind wanders freely, such as during a walk or a shower, your subconscious processes information and forms unexpected insights. Both modes are critical, but hyperfocus maximizes the first. Bailey emphasizes strategies to unlock this hidden creative mode. Engage deeply in meaningful tasks. The more important and complex the work, the more your brain is stimulated to form creative solutions. Alternate focused and diffuse modes after intense hyperfocus allow your mind to wander. This rest period enables subconscious processing. Record your ideas, keep a notebook or digital log. Even small thoughts can become major insights when revisited. Eliminate trivial distractions. Even minor interruptions can break the creative flow. Protect your attention vigilantly. The chapter highlights that creativity is not about thinking harder. It is about thinking in a state where your brain's attention is fully aligned with the task. When you master this, problem solving and innovation become natural extensions of your hyperfocus practice. A critical insight: your brain's hidden creative mode is always active. The key is to direct your attention where it matters and allow your subconscious to do the work. Now that you understand how hyperfocus can unlock creativity, the next challenge is recharging your attention to sustain high performance. In the next chapter, you will discover Chapter 7, Recharging Your Attention, and how small intentional actions can restore your cognitive energy to maintain focus longer than you ever thought possible. Chapter 7, Recharging Your Attention. Imagine pushing through a long day, fully immersed in work, only to find that your energy is depleted and your mind is foggy. You cannot focus, think clearly, or create effectively. Most people rely on caffeine, sugar, or sheer willpower to push through. But what if the secret to sustained attention is not about forcing your brain, but recharging it deliberately? What if you could recover focus faster and consistently operate at your peak without burning out? Chris Bailey emphasizes that attention is a finite resource. Just as muscles fatigue after physical exercise, your brain becomes depleted after intense focus. To sustain hyperfocus and high performance, you must recharge your attention systematically. The chapter highlights several methods to restore and protect cognitive energy. Micro breaks, short breaks every 60–90 minutes allow the brain to recover and reset focus. Even a few minutes of stepping away from your task improves alertness and creativity. Physical movement, walking, stretching, or light exercise boosts blood flow to the brain, enhancing attention and cognitive flexibility. Mindfulness and meditation, brief moments of mindful breathing reduce mental clutter, calm the mind, and increase awareness of wandering thoughts. Sleep and rest. Deep sleep is essential for attention restoration. Bailey emphasizes that no level of willpower can replace adequate rest. Attention management rituals, scheduling deliberate periods for work, relaxation, and creativity ensures the brain is not overtaxed. Bailey also explains the importance of energy alignment. Certain tasks drain attention more than others. By prioritizing demanding cognitive tasks during peak energy periods and lighter or routine tasks during low energy periods, you can maximize productivity without exhausting your brain. A vital insight: rest is not the enemy of productivity. It is the foundation that makes hyperfocus sustainable. By actively recharging your attention, you protect the most valuable resource you have, your ability to focus deeply when it matters most. Now that you know how to recharge your brain and sustain attention, the next question is, how do you connect all these moments of insight, creativity, and focus into meaningful patterns that allow you to see the bigger picture? In the next chapter, you will discover Chapter 8, Connecting Dots, where attention and creativity converge to produce insights that can transform your work and life. Chapter 8, Connecting Dots. Have you ever had a sudden insight where seemingly unrelated ideas clicked together and everything made sense? Most people dismiss these moments as luck or inspiration, but what if there was a method to systematically connect ideas and create breakthroughs? Imagine harnessing your focus, creativity, and attention so that these aha moments happen predictably rather than randomly. Could this be the hidden skill separating average performers from exceptional ones? Chris Bailey explains that connecting dots is the natural culmination of deep focus and creative thinking. When your brain is in hyperfocus, it absorbs patterns, details, and subtleties that others overlook. By purposefully reflecting and synthesizing these observations, you can create insights that appear almost magical to others. Key principles from the chapter. Capture ideas. Actively carry a notebook or digital tool to record fleeting thoughts, observations, and insights. These raw materials are essential for forming connections later. Allow incubation. Sometimes the brain needs downtime to link ideas subconsciously. Periods of rest, walks, or routine tasks can spark surprising connections. Combine unrelated elements. Innovation often comes from merging concepts from different fields. Hyperfocus provides the clarity needed to see these patterns. Reflect regularly. Daily or weekly reflection helps your brain identify emerging themes and recurring patterns that might otherwise be overlooked. Bailey emphasizes that connecting dots is not about forced thinking. It is about creating conditions where the mind can integrate knowledge naturally. Hyperfocus and deliberate attention set the stage, but it is reflection and openness that allow insights to emerge. Another insight: genius is not just in the ideas you gather, but in the connections your mind can make between them. The chapter shows that attention, creativity, and reflection are not separate skills. They are interconnected. Mastering these allows you to move from being reactive to being insightful and from completing tasks to generating transformative ideas. Now that you understand the power of connecting ideas, the next challenge is learning how to apply these insights effectively in collaborative environments. How do you align focus, creativity, and teamwork to achieve more than you could alone? In the next chapter, you will explore Chapter 9, Diamonds in the Rough, which unveils how attention and focus can be leveraged in teams and partnerships to produce extraordinary results. Chapter 9, Diamonds in the Rough. Imagine working on a team where everyone seems competent, but true breakthroughs rarely happen. Ideas remain buried, potential goes untapped, and progress feels slow. What if the difference between ordinary teams and exceptional teams is not skills alone, but the ability to focus, harness creativity, and recognize hidden potential? What if attention and hyperfocus were the keys to unlocking the diamonds in the rough around you? Chris Bailey reveals that teams and collaborations are often limited by scattered attention and unfocused effort. Even talented individuals can underperform if their attention is fragmented or misdirected. The chapter teaches how to identify hidden potential in yourself and others and channel it effectively. Key insights include spotting talent and opportunity. Just as diamonds are hidden in raw or untapped potential exists in people and ideas that are often overlooked. Paying close attention and observing carefully allows you to discover it. Aligning attention with strengths, assign tasks based on where individuals' attention and focus are strongest. Productivity skyrockets when people are working in alignment with their natural capabilities. Creating focused environments, teams perform best when distractions are minimized, objectives are clear, and deep focus is encouraged. Collective hyperfocus multiplies results. Encouraging reflection and creativity. Just as in solo work, teams need downtime to connect ideas, reflect on progress, and allow creative insights to surface. Bailey emphasizes that attention is contagious. When leaders and team members model focused engagement, it inspires others to elevate their own attention. Teams that intentionally manage attention outperform those that rely solely on talent or effort. The chapter also highlights a practical strategy. Identify one diamond in your team or project daily, an overlooked idea, a hidden talent, or an innovative insight, and cultivate it deliberately. Over time, these small discoveries accumulate into significant breakthroughs, a critical insight. The power of focus is not limited to individual achievement. It magnifies the potential of those around you. Now that you know how to uncover hidden potential in teams and collaborations, the final challenge is, how do you consistently sustain hyperfocus, creative thinking, and attention mastery over the long term to achieve extraordinary results in life and work? In the next step, we will move to the final thoughts, wrapping up all the lessons from hyperfocus and showing how to apply them in everyday life. Final thoughts. Imagine living each day fully aware of where your attention goes. Tasks that once felt overwhelming become manageable. Ideas that once seemed disconnected suddenly form meaningful patterns. Distractions lose their power, and you experience a clarity of mind that turns ordinary work into extraordinary outcomes. This is not a fantasy, it is the result of mastering your attention and leveraging hyperfocus. Chris Bailey's Hyperfocus teaches that attention is your most valuable resource, and how you manage it determines both your productivity and your creativity. The book can be summarized through several core principles. Autopilot awareness. Most of your daily actions are automatic. Becoming conscious of when you are on autopilot allows you to reclaim control and make intentional choices. Limits of attention. Your focus is limited, like a spotlight or battery. Understanding these limits ensures that you do not waste mental energy on trivial tasks. Hyperfocus state. Deep focus amplifies output and creativity. By directing attention deliberately, even small blocks of time can yield disproportionately high results. Taming distractions. External and internal distractions are productivity killers. Structuring your environment and mind to minimize interruptions protects your most valuable cognitive resource. Making hyperfocus a habit. Focus is a skill and a habit that can be cultivated through consistent routines, time blocking, and intentional practice. Hidden creative mode. Deep focus enables problem solving and creative insight. Alternating between focus and downtime allows the subconscious to make meaningful connections. Recharging. Attention is renewable but finite. Rest, mindful breaks, and energy alignment sustain long-term performance. Connecting dots. By observing, reflecting, and integrating information, you can generate insights that transform your work and life. Diamonds in the rough. Attention multiplies the potential of individuals and teams. Recognizing and channeling hidden potential creates extraordinary outcomes collectively. The book emphasizes that hyperfocus is not just about working harder, but working smarter, with clarity, intention, and creativity. By mastering attention, you not only improve productivity but also enhance learning, innovation, and personal fulfillment. Now it is your turn. Reflect on your daily patterns. How often do you let autopilot run your life? Where are your attention leaks? Start applying these principles today. Begin small, pick one task and enter hyperfocus for 30 minutes. Eliminate distractions around you. Capture ideas and reflect on patterns. Recharge your attention intentionally. Every day you practice hyperfocus, you reclaim a little more control over your mind, your creativity, and your results. Commit to it, and you will transform ordinary days into moments of remarkable achievement. If you are ready to master your attention and achieve extraordinary results, comment your biggest attention challenge and subscribe for more book summaries that help you unlock your potential.